Well, hello everyone out there in the nicest YouTube space and internet land. It's me, Alex. I just come from my training and I'm happy as always. Though I should say that I'm not in the best speaking way ever, and I'm just having those things being said, and as always, as I regularly do. And actually, I've got kick out of learning and not learning, but breathing my English, and I do. And if I don't die, I won't. Again, if I don't die, everyone is pretty aware what's going to happen tomorrow, but it's not that way, because everything is under God's surveillance and or supervision. If you're good enough, if you're a good guy or gal, probably you will live until tomorrow, and other days also. It's how your entire lifespan is going to happen, and in a happy way, I mean. And that's been me. That's been my introductory rambling theme as always. And I'm happy now to proceed with the shoot of tonight itself. Okay, recently on some YouTube space, I followed some footage, and there was a guy, pretty old man, around. The age was 91, if I'm not mistaken here. I guess I'm not. He's a veteran of the Great Patriotic War, of the Second World War, as we call it, Great Patriotic War, and he was telling the story. You'll get the point while I'm explaining this stuff from that background, because I'm not about being on the background of Great Patriotic War or Second World War or the First World War, whatever wars. I'm not a related guy to those kinds of issues related to wars and history. I don't like follow history footages, and I know a pretty fair amount of history background that happened with us, with our I don't know, local neighborhoods, and our native country, and our peeps that live here and stuff. But I'm not about that in this particular video shoot. You will be surprised how it connects to space-time connectivity and the flow of time, how we grasp as a human beings, how we grasp the flow of time. And that man, I cannot call him dude, because I respect him a lot. Being a veteran of that war, he passed it all. He's been through all that shit and all those hardships. It's hard to even fucking imagine how it was. And he's been through all that mess and he survived. Good for him, and I respect him a lot. And he was telling the story about how he was blown out of his tank on the battlefield, and he was laying on the ground. He was literally anticipating his death to come soon. He was listening to those whistling sounds of bullets and bombs passing by him, flying by, and he was very conscious about that his inevitable death will come in any way, with inevitable steps. And he was lying there on the ground, listening to his internal feelings and to his voice and to his mind, and he was very just concentrated of what was gonna happen. His death coming, possible death coming with inevitable steps, and he was all about anticipating that death, and he concentrated his mind. According to his narration, he was concentrated too much about what was going to happen. He was just literally, all his thoughts were just inside that picture, his ability to die right at that moment. He was very conscious about oncoming death, and what happened was he heard the sound of approaching missile, not a missile, but that bomb, flying bomb, being shot from cannon of that tank that was about to kill those equipage of that tank that was blown away, completely crashed with that explosion. And he was lying on the ground doing what I said, and he heard that roar of approaching bomb flying into his direction. And that approach was harsh. He heard that roar going like in the Matrix movie. You remember when that Neo guy bent all those bullets, and all those bullets were passing by him, left side, right side, wherever about him, right or just in the center of his behind, between his legs or above his shoulders, wherever those bullets. And that guy was experiencing the same as he listened to his little voice, as he was concentrating his mind a lot in a big way. He just experienced miracle, and the miracle was he saw that bomb approached him and passed literally within the distance of 20 centimeters or so, and he saw that bomb in all details. It was round, it was polished with I don't know, the material was metal, it's obvious, but different kinds of metals. He described that thing was comprised of different kinds of metals, like steel, like copper, like he was observing all these tiny wrinkles on the surface of that metal that that war had on the very top, on the very beginning of that bomb was the war hat that was white color, that small tiny particle, that bomb that that when it lands, the first part of that bomb that lands, it's that tiniest war hat on the very front part of that bomb, and he was observing the entire picture of that bomb that was right in front of his eyes. He was clearly observing any side of that bomb being right in front of his eyes, like in a slow motion movie, continuing to forward, or in the forward direction, continuing to land. It touched the land with the warhead being white color. It slightly dipped into the ground. That was described by him. But like in a slow motion movie, it's a miracle. I don't even know how I felt when I listened to his voice describing that situation, that experience. It was like real truth. I believe him. I don't know, maybe I'm mad, maybe I'm crazy, maybe I'm sick, but I believe in all those details being said by him. That bomb lands and it explodes. And what happens, he just in the midst of the explosion, and he's like surrounded with like I don't know, something invisible sphere of his own huge energy sphere that surrounded him, that surrounds him at the moment. That sphere of energy created by his mind. He was just in that dome of his own energy created by his mind, and that explosion caused literally nothing to him. He survived. He even wasn't injured in that situation, according to his words. I don't fucking know how it might happen, but I believe him, especially that part when he was describing slowing down of time, and that just experience was untold previously. I haven't heard something like that before, and I was just stunned, and that stuff was astounding to me, and then I was flabbergasted fucking for a while, sitting in silence pondering that point. And I experienced pretty much not the same situation, but I kind of like okay, it's gonna be another story I'll tell you somehow on my upcoming video shoot. If you have a mood to follow, then we will. Okay, and that's been me, just I don't know, telling you something unbelievable. If you're just good about science, if you're good about space-time connectivity, then maybe you would like to put your own opinion as for that situation. Maybe you believe, maybe you don't. For me, just I believe. I'm a great supporter wherever just a scientific idea. Everything might happen, right? Why not? Why we should exclude all those possible ramifications of any possible situation where universe literally branches out, and it branches out at any given moment of our life. It branches out right now as I'm speaking right now, as I'm pronouncing each succeeding sound in branches out, and that's unbelievable. But I believe in that. That's been Alex making something spontaneous and arbitrary and not pre-mapped as I always do. And thanks God I can speak English. And thanks you all that you follow my channel, probably just occasionally. If you're there, then I'm all just gratefulness for your invisible participation. But you are there right now. There's been Alex telling things about just some maybe fluff, maybe some not so fluffy materials as I regularly do, but it's been something. If you're my counterpart over there, follow me, subscribe to my channel, and subscribe, do what you want, right? And never just get in some troubles and everything's gonna be good with it then. See y'all, and bye, pleasure.